Hello, and welcome to Virtual Science Saturday, part of Hagley from Home. I'm Leanne, and this week's topic is roots, shoots, and flowers. In this special edition of Virtual Science Saturday, we join local libraries and other community partners for Longwood Gardens' 7th annual Community Read. This is a program that joins people together for reading for pleasure and for starting a conversation. In 2020, readers are asked to push what they think they know and dive into the wild, weird, wacky world of plants. Try saying that 3 times fast. After that, I'll talk to you a little bit about the different parts of plants, what they do, where we find them on our dinner plate, and how you can grow your very own vegetables at home. Be on the lookout for a special reading of The Enormous Potato, also uploaded to Hagley from Home. Be sure to get your parents' permission and participation before using any food or tools from the kitchen, and leave your space cleaner than how you found it. The first book we are featuring is called The Enormous Potato, as retold by Aubrey Davis. It's the story of a farmer who plants just a regular potato eye, and it grows into, you guessed it, an enormous potato. And the whole town, including the farmer's dog, gets involved in harvesting it. The second book is for the nonfiction fans out there. Weird Plants is a compilation that showcases bizarre, mysterious, and weird plants from around the world. Better yet, the book is beautifully illustrated by the author himself, Chris Thorogood, and the plants just jump off the page and come to life. Finally, we have Semiosis, written by Sue Burke. Semiosis is a science fiction novel that follows colonists that land on a planet that they weren't prepared for. One where plants are the dominant life form and humans are their pawns. Semiosis is a generation-spanning novel told through the lens of several different perspectives over its first 107 years of settlement. These books are available at major booksellers, or check with your local library to see if you can borrow them. Plants are a system of parts just like you and me. We are both living things and have the same goal that all living things do: survive long enough to produce more organisms just like you. We have children, and in turn plants produce seeds. But there are some major differences in how we sense and respond to our environment. Let's take a look at some of the parts of a plant and see how they do that. The roots of a plant serve 2 major purposes. The first purpose is to anchor it to the ground. Plants don't have legs or ways to move around, so they must stay in place their whole lives. The roots help them stay anchored when there's high wind or animals walking by. The second purpose is to take up water and nutrients from the soil. You might not realize it, but the soil is alive with bacteria and small organisms. And these break down the matter like old plant leaves and rocks that provide nutrients for the plant. The same way that we eat fruits and vegetables to get our special vitamins and minerals, plants need to break down the soil to get those things. And also, that's where they get their water. So the roots are the main way that plants drink. You'll see that many plant parts serve more than one purpose. Same thing for the stems. The stems serve the purpose of bringing the leaves closer to the sun so the plant doesn't have to work as hard to reach over other plants to get the sunlight that they need. The stem also serves to bring the water from the roots all the way up to the leaves. The leaves and all the cells in the plants need water, so lots of water is pulled up through the veins of a plant. And so these are vessels that carry both water and sugar throughout the different parts of the plant. You can think of it a lot like our veins in our body that carries blood. Plants are really special in that they can create energy from sunlight. It's not just sunlight that they get their energy from though. They also take in carbon dioxide from the air and use that kind of like their food source. So the leaves of a plant are a little bit like our stomachs in that it's breaking down the food inside of the leaves for the plant to use to grow. Plant leaves are one of the ways to identify what a plant is because leaves are so unique to each plant that that's usually the characteristic we use to identify them. Flowers are another very recognizable part of a plant. Do you know what the colorful part of a flower is called? Those are flower petals. The colorful part attracts pollinators so that when a bee or a hummingbird, or sometimes in plants even bats are pollinators, they come, get the pollen from the center and also a sweet treat of nectar, Then they bring it to another flower, so then the flower can create a seed and sometimes even fruits. Not all plants create flowers though. Some have cones, like a pine tree, or some like mosses and ferns, they create something called a spore. The last part of a plant we'll talk about are fruits. The purpose of a fruit is to surround seeds so that animals come and eat the fruit and then drop the seeds around the area where that plant lives. That way the seeds aren't just dropping around the bottom of that plant, they are dropping all over the area so that that plant can grow in a much wider space. Can you name what part of a plant each of these items comes from? Pause this video and see if you can make a list. Okay, so the carrot comes from the root of the plant. You might be surprised to know that broccoli is part of the flower of a broccoli plant. And then the two other items, the bread and the tortilla, that's a little bit of a trick question. But the flour that's used to make those comes from the seed of a grass called wheat. This one might be a little bit tougher. Can you tell me what part of the plant the onion bulb is? We can figure this out together. If we look at the bottom of the bulb, we see little fine hairs. Those are the roots of the plant. And at the top, we can see some leaves sprouting out. So what part of a plant is in between the leaves and the roots? That's right, the stem. So the onion bulb is primarily the stem of the plant with some scales or special leaves wrapped around it. Your challenge today is to see if you can grow your own vegetables and fruits from the things you find in your kitchen. Take this onion for example. Little did I know that I was performing my own science experiment in my refrigerator. I went to find an example for this video and this onion was growing on the bottom shelf. Please don't judge me. So all you have to do is take this onion, put it in some soil, and you can grow your own onion plant. It's that simple. Something else you can grow at home is garlic. If you just take one of the cloves and peel off the outside paper, put it in a small, shallow dish of water, over a couple of days you'll see the roots are going to start to grow into the water and the top will start to grow a green leaf. This might even happen if you don't put it in water. It could just happen on your countertop. Happened to me plenty of times. But try this and you can grow your own garlic plant. The last thing I tried to grow were apple seeds. Ideally what you should do is take the seeds from the apple, place them in a wet paper towel, and then put that in a Ziploc bag and place it on your windowsill. Over a couple of days you should see little green sprouts growing through the paper towel. Once this gets a couple of inches long, you can put it in some soil and grow a seedling. This didn't really work out for me. My seeds didn't sprout and my paper towel eventually started growing mold. So it didn't really work, but it can work. These Granny Smith apple seeds sprouted quite nicely for someone else. Some other fruits or vegetables you can grow at home include celery, avocado, potatoes, and beans. If you grow your own vegetables at home, upload a picture or video to Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter and tag us with hashtag HagleySciSat or hashtag HagleyFromHome. Thank you for stopping by for Virtual Science Saturday. And a special thanks to Young, Conaway, Stargate, and Taylor, LLP for sponsoring this program. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and head on over to our website at www.hagley.org for more Hagley from Home content.